Yo, what up, y'all? Um, it's another day out here, and I decided to come to my truck to do a little cleaning up. And I was driving on the way here. There was a truck driver that was riding behind me, and he was like flashing his lights and like riding up my bumper and like pushing. I'm like, yo. So I let him pass because I was on the 408 and we're like flying down the 408. So he was like, bah, 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 and trying to go past. Then I saw him do that to this another person, like rode right behind someone else and was like trying to bully them out of the way. And I was like, damn, that truck driver with all that power and all that weight, is barreling down the road. That shit is unsafe. That is pretty much scary. And I was like, damn, bro. I told my wife this morning, I don't miss it. I don't miss it at all. But what this video is, I wanted to talk to you guys about this video, is for new truckers. New truckers that go into this game, into the trucking business, what to look out for, what to expect, how your life is going to change. Okay? So this is where I was living. This is where I was living. I had the upper bunk, lower bunk. This is where I was at for 2 years. And I kind of symbolize this as my little cell, my prison cell. Because, okay, not my prison cell, okay, but I was stuck. This was my house, my domain, for like 2.5 years on the road. Everywhere I went, this is where I lived. I stayed. I had my little dog under the bed. My dog used to sit right over here and to sleep while I'm driving. And this is where you have to wrap your mind around that your truck is gonna be it. You set it up the way you're gonna want to set it up for how you want to live. At home, you want to set your truck up like you will be comfortable at home. So I had my TV in there, I had my Xbox. Verizon had a hotspot that was really good, so I could play my Call of Duty while I was at the docks and everything. But that was the only comfort that I had, was that I had my little fridge, my little TV, my little hotspot, all that good stuff. Um, the one things that I needed on the road was a Bluetooth speaker. I needed a bunch of charging cables. I needed my phone charge for GPS, or if you have ELD, your ELD might even have your own GPS system on it. But you need your phone chargers, multiple ports, multiple ports. So you can keep things charging. Your thermal cup charger, charging all the stuff that you need. Um, a lot of people, they don't get a fridge, but they have like an ice box, and they put an ice box here, like so the ice box like right here. And whenever you go to like a gas station or a pilot, you can always get your beverages right here. It's easy to get to. I had my fridge, so I put my stuff in there. But the problem with the fridge was it was so far away that I had to stop to actually get my stuff, or I had to had to really reach while I was driving to get it. So that wasn't really great. Now I work at Walmart DC. So I work at a distribution center where a lot of trucks go in and out. and I see a lot of new drivers. The things you're gonna expect at a DC is, first off, ask a lot of questions. Find out where to park, where you can stay, where you can stop, how long is it gonna be? Can I leave the premises or do I have to stay on premises? Usually, if you're at a Walmart or a Target or whatever, most of the time you have to stay on the premises, and they don't make you leave until your truck is empty because they don't want you to leave your trailer there. So they're like, hey, you're going to have to stay and wait till your junk is done. Because when your junk is done, we need you to move your trailer right away. We don't need your trailer hanging out here. So, but usually those are the questions you want to ask. At the Walmart DC that I work at in Cocoa, it's usually 4 to 8 hours of unloading time. So what you want to do is before you even get to your load spot, you go use the bathroom. Because some of these DCs they don't have working bathrooms, not even for drivers. You know, so of course that's why drivers have their pee cups because they don't allow us to pee everywhere we want to pee. Um, relieve ourselves. I'm sorry, I didn't politically correct, but make sure you use the bathroom or have a pee cup, bottle, whatever you got available. Um, because waiting in line, from my experience, waiting in line in the DC or in the line waiting to get into the shipping yard, sometimes it's a hassle depending on where you go to. Sometimes it's a breeze because it's a scheduled your time is a scheduled time and there's not a lot of people coming in at that time. So that is the ideal thing for you to have a quick in and out. But what you're gonna have to expect is a long wait. Don't start tripping. Don't ask for your papers. Don't start, I got this and this. If you're an owner operator, don't book your loads right away. Of course, you should know this. Me being an owner operator and inexperienced, I was trying to book. I had my drop off at 3 o'clock, and I was trying to book my pickup at 7:30. I'm like, it's only half an hour away. I can get there within my hours and everything. But what was the problem was I didn't even get unloaded till like 6 or 7. And it's like I'm sitting there in DC like stressing because I got to get to my next load. Um, but that's another reason why if you're unexperienced, go with a company that's gonna get you loaded, get you in and out. Like when I was working with Trans Am, they had me on a load that was going from Pennsylvania to New Jersey, and I had to pick up. I dropped off at 3 o'clock, and my GPS says it's gonna take me like 2.5 hours to get there. And they were like, "Well, your pickup is at 5 o'clock. Can you still make it?" I was like, "I'm doing the math. I don't think I can, but I don't know. Would they allow me to come late?" They were like, "No, they won't allow you to come late. We're gonna cancel this load, and we're gonna put you on a different load." Um, so those were the things that I ran into. But at least when you put that on a company is gonna be able to be like, all right, they can suck up the loss and the loss. They'll make it up on a different load the next day. They're looking for maximum profit. So basically, you're gonna get paid a set wage of how many miles you go, but they're looking for maximum profit depending on where you go and how many miles you go and how many hours you have, so they can stay legal. But they use you out there. I went on some trips I went on some trips, some close pickups, some fast deliveries and close pickups. I was like, man, it really had me moving. But as an owner operator, I thought it was going to be a little bit more smoother than that, but it's also that chaotic. My wife and I was always on the load boards looking at loads while I was driving, while I was at the drop off, and just trying to make sure I can find the best load and negotiate the best price, in time before someone else picks it up and negotiates a better price. So I was like in the crunch of like, they'll say, well, we'll give you 205 for this load. It's going 1,500 miles. I was like, 205 is decent. It's decent. It was decent at the time, but going 1,500 miles, ooh, that takes a lot of time out of my week, and I could at least go somewhere else for like 800 miles. Take me 2 days or a day to get there, and then I can negotiate a better rate for the next day, you know, and go another 800 miles for maybe $4 or $3.50 if it was a cold load, if it was a refrigerated load. But that was the situation. And so I got off topic, but this is for new drivers going out on the road. What you're gonna expect? You're gonna expect a lot of long riding in this vehicle. A lot of long riding. The first thing you gotta do is make sure you do your pre-trip inspection. Damn, 11 minutes in the video, and I just talking about pre-trip inspection. Talking about a lot of other garbage. But make sure you check your vehicle. Check the oil levels, check your fluids, make sure you check your washer, wiper, fluids. Definitely check that. You don't want to be on the road and you cannot see through the truck. Once you can't see and then you got to get out and do all that, and it's not worth it. Get all your fluids checked and everything. Check your tires. Make sure you don't have any leaks, any holes, any nails in the tire, especially when you come off of a shipping yard. When you come off a construction shipping yard, when they're pulling off paper or whatever they pull off in the back, I've had so much stuff loaded up in my trailer. I don't even know what it is sometimes. I think it was plyboards and paper, but and other stuff, other commodities. But when you get off the shipping yard, check for nails in your tires. Okay, those are the only things that are going to stop you from riding and going. As long as you can get focused, make sure you get some good headsets. Um, Invest in a headset. Don't try to use your little AirPods, because on a busy road, on a heavy road, you're not gonna hear crap through AirPods. And I don't know. I don't have the new AirPod Pros. I don't know if it has any noise canceling. But what I've experienced when I've had the AirPods in my ear, I was taking them out and trying to put my speaker on, because I couldn't really hear, you know. So get a good mic. And what else? What else can we talk about? Yeah, it's pretty much it, man. The mindset of being a trucker is you're gonna be on the road and you're gonna be gone for a long period of time. When me being a family man, it was rough for me because every day, this was the time right here when I was sitting in the truck. I would close the door, leaving the house. I'm like, dang, I ain't gonna be back here for another 2 weeks. But I took it as an adventure. Most of the time we went out, went to Low Key, Alabama, went to Texas, we went to Oklahoma, we went to Denver, we went to Utah, we've been to Michigan, we've been to Chicago, I've been to New York. I've been to Buffalo. I've been a lot of different places. Driving around. I would never have gone to Buffalo um, in all my life. But I went to Buffalo and I've had a good time there. You know, it was it's a very chilled area. There were some Indian reservations over there, and there was like a party that was going on. It was lit, so it was a good time. Buffalo is a place that I definitely will take my family to because Canada's right there, and the Niagara Falls are right there, so you can always go back and forth, Buffalo, Niagara, wherever you want. But it was a good time there. Another place that was decent was Dallas was nice because I got to go visit my family in Dallas. It was really nice there too. There was a lot of rest stops in Dallas. Oh yeah, talking about rest stops. Make sure, as a new driver, make sure you get to the rest stops early. So plan your trip to leave early in the morning. If you're working for a company that has like little 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 rest areas that they have a little home bases that you can go to, then that's dope. Some cities you'll go to and they're like, hey, we have a hub in this town. If you need to reset, come over here. And that is dope. I've seen some truck drivers gone that route. But if you have to go to a pilot or a love station, if you don't get there by 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and you don't park your trailer there, you're pretty much gonna be probably looking for scraps. Okay, it's between 4 and 7 is where you want to be in, because some of the night drivers, where I used to be a night driver, I used to try to leave late in the evening, around 9, 10, and then I'll drive till early morning, and then I'll always find a spot because the early morning drivers, a lot of people pick up their loads early in the morning. So the early morning drivers will be already out trying to get their load, and I would be finding a spot to park. So that's what I normally would do if I had a choice of when to leave my spot, when to arrive at my location or my um truck stop. Make sure you plan your truck stops properly. If you get there at 11 o'clock at night and you're down to like 1 or 2 hours in your hours in your trip, then you're probably gonna be parking on the road. And make sure you go all the way over on that road. You don't want to get hit or get blown up, or not blown up, but when you drive, when the trucks go by, you're like, phew. Yo, there's plenty of times that I was sleeping on the road with my window open because it's so hot, and I don't leave my truck on, and I don't have an APU unit, so I don't have the AC blowing back there while the truck is off. I didn't have that comfort. I was sitting there with the window open, the wind blowing, and hearing trucks fly by me on the having my truck wag. Those were the times. But if you're just going into this business and you're just jumping into a truck, jump in with a company. Get your CDL, learn what you got to learn, take the road as an adventure, jump on with a company, and just go wherever they tell you to go. And that's it. Take your breaks whenever you want to take your break. My brother-in-law, he works for so many companies, and he takes his breaks whenever he wants to take a break, and he enjoys it. He's probably been everywhere in this country, and he gets to live a good a good life just being on the road. He doesn't have any kids, so you can enjoy that adventure. I got kids, so my adventure is at home, you know. But if you got any questions about trucking and getting into this trucking game, um, leave your comments, because if you're just getting your CDL, there's a lot of options out there. So don't lock yourself in a group of things that you have to do. You can look around because your CDL is very valuable. Of course, you're going to need more experience. So after your 2 years experience, anybody will pick you up. So you have to grind for at least 2 years. Do what you have to do until you get your choices. But you have choices once you get out of that 2 year probation period and they see you have no accidents. All right. Hey, enjoy that road. Enjoy the adventure, you truckers. All right. Let's get it, because we need y'all to bring over that Amazon and that, all that. All right. They need us out here. I'm going to clean up the rest of this truck because it's dusty. And that's it. All right, yo. Safe driving. Peace.